One of the most common misconceptions I think there is about rowing, especially when you're a beginner, is that rowing is all about performing a certain motion. So usually they teach you something like this. You say, okay, either they make you start at the finish and they say, okay, hands out first, then upper body forward, then you slide forward, and then you start to push with your legs, hold your upper body, and then pull with your arms. This is the visual description of what a rowing stroke could look like. What is more important, and that is what I teach my athletes, beginners or pros, you have to understand what the rowing stroke is all about. And the primary part about rowing is using body weight. It's that simple. The original rowing stroke was a fixed seat. So you would be like that. And that motion predominantly uses upper body. Yes, a bit of arms to go around the pins, but it's predominantly upper body. Why is it upper body? Not because it's so strong, but because it's usually heavy. It's a lever. Rowing is a leverage game. So when you're a beginner and nobody tells you that, and you do your arms, upper body, legs, legs, upper body, arms, and you kind of don't feel satisfied, it's because you don't use body weight. The rowing is a leverage game, so you start out ideally doing arms and upper body and hold your knees firm. Don't overextend them, but extend them. Hold your knees firm. So that's how you begin. So in a second step, you don't start with the full length, but you increase your stroke length a tiny bit. So you do what we call 1/4 slide. So the slide is divided by roughly a quarter, half, 3/4, full. And before we go into full slide and all the details, what you need to know is just slide forward a tiny bit. How much should you bring your upper body forward? It's not the upper body that counts, pelvis. So don't think about throwing your chest forward or trying to reach far forward. No, the most important thing is a pelvic roll. So that, up. So this is what it looks like. You're at the finish position. You slightly bring your arms forward. Don't extend them completely. And now try to rotate forward. And that alone makes you go forward. Is it just the front, the pelvis? No, it's also the back. So the idea is that you bring your low back forward a tiny bit. Up, and that's all you need. It's not about having much of it, it's about using it the right way. It's pretty much just like golf or any full body sport. The good people don't seem to work hard. It's not true, they work very hard, but they know exactly what to use and what to avoid and what to omit. So that's how you start the recovery. And then you start to do with 1/4 slide. The good thing about this is you start to experience, I'm still using body weight, but you introduce a bit of slide. And the good thing, if you just introduce a bit of slide at the beginning, is that you have the idea that your legs and your upper body work together. Later on, you're going to learn how to hold the upper body and use your upper body at a certain point of time. For now, that's not that important. In a second step, you can go to what we call half slide. A typical reference point, you can see it in the top camera here, is that hands are roughly above your feet. And that allows you to be a bit longer during the leg drive, but still use upper body weight. Don't lean back too far. That's a detail for later. And for now, just lean back far enough so that on a bi rower, your hands can come apart a bit, about a fist in between. If you're on a linear erg, you can usually do more motion than you'd be able to do in the boat. And there are actually scientific studies that say the more motion you do in a linear erg in terms of lean back, the more negative impact you have on your body. Happily quote some of the studies. If you're interested, put it in the comments below. And the idea at the finish is just a very quick cue you can use. Pop your upper abs out a bit. That's it. Pop your upper abs out, not the chest, upper abs, okay? And then hold a bit. Again, rotate nicely forward into half slide position. Hold, rotate forward into half slide position. And then eventually you lengthen out to 3/4 and then to full. And always keep in mind, your main idea is to be heavy. Now, should you use body weight only here? And that's exactly the misconception. No, your body weight connects already at the beginning of the drive, even if you slide forward all the way. So when you go here forward to the catch, it's not about doing a motion, it's about planting your body weight, suspending it, so when you do that, it already creates a nice force curve. And this is really what's missing with most beginners. They just go through the patterns of legs and try to be stable and stiff and do this and go forward, stiff. No, it's about making yourself heavy. Remember, this is the original rowing motion. So rowing is a leverage game. We don't do the leg drive so that we do a bit and then now it's upper body. No, there's no time to switch from a motion to being heavy. You got to be heavy right at the catch, but you don't have to do the upper body swing right at the catch. You want to kind of save it. It's a bit like a turbo. It's a bit like an ace up your sleeve you can use. Here at the catch, it's not about being quick or brutal or hard. That's a very uncomfortable angle for your legs anyway. So chances are you're not going to do much with your legs here anyway. You should use them quite properly, but you don't have to kill it at the catch. It's much more important that your entire body can transfer that. And in order to get a good idea of what I actually mean by not performing a motion, but actually trying to use body weight, let me show you a quick example. So this pickup truck weighs empty about 2.9 tons the way it is configured right now. So it's pretty heavy. And let's pretend that I want to start to pull it. The question is, how would you go about to solve this challenge? Now, if I'd be using the same logic that many people use on the rowing machine, you have to create an immediate motion, then I would completely ditch the idea that this Aram truck is heavy, and I would just say, okay, create a motion, legs, upper body, arms, everything at once. And look what happens with my body. I pull myself forward. It overwhelms me. Now imagine you do this for an hour, 30 minutes. Of course it's too much for the body. In order to move that truck, first you have to connect your body weight with the weight you want to move, and then you slowly have to add more motion as you see that heavy vehicle moves. So I'm not really going to move it right now because it's on a slope down and there's nobody to stop the truck. So there's nobody sitting inside. But let's pretend I wanted to move it, and you can do this yourself in a safe environment, of course. So I'd probably suspend and then try to move it that way. And you can already see I'm able to move the truck a bit. Now let's go back on our bio rower and see how we can apply this idea and this principle to what the rowing stroke actually is. So if you're on a bio rower or even a linear drive erg at the moment, try to start the stroke with the idea that you want to move something heavy, like this. And eventually you add more motion as the flywheel starts to spool up. Now, you may say, hey, the boat is much lighter than a truck. Yeah, you have to take into consideration hydrodynamic effects. The boat doesn't go through the water without having to break through a wall of water. There's a lot of resistance that boat is facing. It's built like a container ship. It's not a glider with just the ship screw is in the water. No, the entire thing is in the water. Yes, it's long and streamlined, but you still face a lot of resistance. Same here in the bio rower. The air fin is something that needs to be slowly brought into motion. And if you try to do it too quickly at the catch, your body is going to be overwhelmed. And that's the root cause for many, many, many technique issues. So once more, let's try the two different approaches. A, I would just want to create a motion and look right. That's going to overwhelm me. Or B, start right at the catch, but be heavy and prolong your heaviness, your body weight as a lever, and you unfold the last potential of the upper body swing towards the end of the drive in order to keep the momentum going. That's really how it is. Drive, 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 heavy. Right at the catch, heavy. And I'm not overwhelming myself. Now, there are many details to this, and it's not like once you know that, you know everything. But it's a very important part, it's a very important component to understand that many people simply get wrong. Now, if you want to learn more now and become a better rower, a competitive rower, it's a good time to join the Saturday Club. I coach people live every Saturday for 45 minutes. These coaching sessions are on Zoom. You put a camera next to yourself, use a headset, and you've got me in your ear and you see me on the screen, and I give you technique feedback. This is how you become proficient and better, even if you only can train with somebody online. It's very, very effective. Or you sign up for a training program and do one-on-one sessions with me. So we would meet one-on-one online every week. If you want to learn more about the BioRower Pro, you see it's unstable. It's the most realistic rowing machine in the world. Feels like a boat, but it's easy to handle for beginners. The website is bodyweight.com and you find all the details there. If you want to contact me with a video request, please send me a message on rowing.zone. My handle is @Aram. With that being said, go to aramtraining.com to work with me. On BioRower.com, you will find this beautiful piece of art that you can enjoy at home or at your rowing club. And go to rowing.zone to contact me or connect with other enthusiast rowers. Let me know if this video helped you. I'm very curious about your feedback. Is there something else you need? Any questions? With that being said, thank you very much for watching, and I'm very much looking forward to see you in the next video. Again, about rowing technique and how to become a competitive rower.